Welcome to this engaging guide on the deaths of all 36 Ottoman sultans, where we delve into their lives, reigns, and ultimate demises. This journey offers insights into the historical circumstances surrounding each sultan's death, revealing the factors that shaped their ends. By exploring these pivotal moments, we gain a deeper understanding of the complex history of the Ottoman Empire and the formidable challenges its leaders faced. Join us as we unravel the stories of these influential rulers, exploring their legacies and the profound impact they left on history. Osman I, 1299 to 1326. Osman I, the founder of the Ottoman Empire, died in August 1326 in Sot, Ottoman Beylik, modern-day Turkey, from natural causes, likely due to old age and the cumulative toll of a life spent in constant military and administrative activities. His passing marked a significant moment in Ottoman history, leading to the smooth transition of leadership to his son, Orhan, ensuring continuity and stability for the nascent state. Osman's reign, beginning around 1299, was characterized by strategic alliances and military conquests that laid the foundation for the empire's expansion. Notably, he captured key Byzantine towns like Bursa, which later became a major administrative and cultural center for the Ottomans. Sot, where he died and was buried, was the symbolic and strategic heart of the early Ottoman state. Osman's death was a pivotal event, not just due to the end of his leadership but because it heralded the rise of Orhan, who was well prepared to continue his father's vision. Under Orhan, the Ottoman territories expanded further into Europe, establishing the dynasty's enduring legacy. The policies and structures Osman established, including a nascent administrative framework and military organization, continued to influence the empire long after his death, securing his legacy as the progenitor of a dynasty that would dominate much of southeastern Europe, Western Asia, and North Africa for centuries. Despite his peaceful death, the impact of his leadership and the shock of losing such a foundational figure were profound, making his death not only a personal loss but a monumental moment in the history of the Ottoman Empire. Imagine a world where the Ottoman Empire, one of history's most powerful and influential empires, extended its reach beyond Europe, Asia, and Africa to the New World. What if the Ottomans had colonized America? How would this have reshaped the course of history, culture, and geopolitics? This video delves into this intriguing scenario, offering a comprehensive exploration of the potential impacts and transformations. The purpose of this exploration is to delve into the hypothetical scenario of Ottoman colonization in the Americas, examining the historical context, imagining the cultural, political, and societal changes that could have ensued, and exploring the broader implications for world history. By the end, viewers will gain a deeper understanding of how profoundly different global dynamics might have been had the Ottomans established a presence in the New World. Let's begin. Ottoman Empire Overview. Historical context. The Ottoman Empire emerged in the late 13th century in Anatolia, under the leadership of Osman I. Initially a frontier principality, the Ottomans capitalized on weakening Byzantine and Seljuk authority to expand their territory through strategic military campaigns. By the mid-14th century, under Sultan Murad I and his successors, the Ottomans consolidated control over key regions in Anatolia, establishing a formidable state. Geopolitical influence. The Ottoman Empire's geopolitical influence spanned 3 continents. In Southeast Europe, by the late 14th century, the Ottomans expanded into the Balkans, capturing territories like Adrianople, Edirne, and Serbia. The pivotal conquest of Constantinople in 1453 solidified Ottoman dominance in Europe, marking the end of the Byzantine Empire and establishing Istanbul as a strategic center linking Europe and Asia. In Western Asia, Ottoman expansion eastward into Anatolia and westward into the Balkans secured crucial trade routes and access to fertile lands, extending control into Mesopotamia, Syria, and the Arabian Peninsula. positioning it as a central power in the Islamic world. In North Africa, during the 16th century, the Ottomans expanded into Egypt, establishing a naval presence in the Mediterranean that facilitated trade and maritime dominance, connecting Ottoman territories from the Balkans to the shores of Morocco. Cultural impact. The Ottoman Empire's cultural contributions were diverse and enduring. In architecture, Ottoman architects developed a distinctive style characterized by grand mosques, palaces, and public buildings. Examples include the conversion of the Hagia Sophia into a mosque and the construction of the Suleiman Mosque, which exemplify Ottoman achievements blending Byzantine, Islamic, and Persian influences. In science and scholarship, Ottoman scholars made significant advancements in astronomy, mathematics, and medicine, with institutions like the Suleimani Madrasa in Istanbul becoming centers of learning that fostered intellectual exchange and innovation. In art and literature, Ottoman artists excelled in miniature painting, calligraphy, and decorative arts, creating manuscripts and textiles of exceptional craftsmanship. The Ottoman court's patronage of poets and writers contributed to a rich literary tradition that reflected Islamic and regional influences, highlighting the empire's cultural richness and intellectual vibrancy. Orhan, 1326 to 1362. Orhan, who reigned from 1326 to 1362, died in March 1362 in Bursa, Ottoman Beylik, modern-day Turkey, from natural causes. His death led to his son, Murad I, ascending the throne, continuing the legacy of expansion and consolidation that marked Orhan's rule. During his reign, Orhan significantly expanded Ottoman territories, capturing key cities like Nicaea, Iznik, and Nicomedia, Izmit, which fortified Ottoman control over northwestern Anatolia. He also introduced important administrative reforms, including the establishment of a standing army and the minting of the first Ottoman coins, which helped stabilize and grow the economy. Orhan's strategic marital alliance with Theodora, the daughter of Byzantine Emperor John V Kantakouzenos, further strengthened his political position. Bursa, where he died, served as the first major capital of the Ottoman Empire and was a center of trade, culture, and administration. Orhan's peaceful death marked the end of a transformative era for the Ottoman state, setting the stage for Murad I to continue expanding the empire's influence and territory. The shock of losing Orhan was mitigated by the preparedness of Murad I, who inherited a robust and thriving state. Orhan's achievements laid a strong foundation for the empire's future successes, making his death a significant transition point in Ottoman history. Certainly, let's delve into Ottoman naval power with detailed explanations. Naval strength. Development. During the 16th century, the Ottoman Navy underwent a transformative evolution, growth, and modernization. Under the reigns of Sultan Selim I and Suleiman the Magnificent, the Ottoman Navy experienced significant expansion and modernization. This period saw the incorporation of advanced shipbuilding techniques and maritime technologies acquired through interactions with Venetian and Genoese shipbuilders. The Ottomans adapted these innovations to enhance the efficiency and effectiveness of their naval fleet. Centralization and organization. The appointment of the Captain Pasha, Grand Admiral, as the commander of the Navy brought centralized leadership and streamlined operational command. This organizational reform was crucial in coordinating naval maneuvers, improving communication, and enhancing fleet cohesion. The Ottoman Navy expanded to include a diverse array of vessels, including galleys, galleasses, large galleys with heavy artillery, and later, sailing ships. This diversified fleet allowed the Ottomans to adapt to the evolving dynamics of naval warfare and effectively project power across the Mediterranean and beyond. Infrastructure. Istanbul emerged as a pivotal hub for naval construction and maintenance. Shipyards, such as those located in the Golden Horn, played a vital role in the rapid deployment, repair, and upkeep of Ottoman naval forces. These strategic facilities enabled the Ottomans to sustain a robust naval presence, conduct regular patrols, and respond swiftly to maritime threats and opportunities. During the 16th century, the Ottoman navy under Sultans Selim I and Suleiman the Magnificent underwent significant growth, modernization, and centralization. By incorporating advanced shipbuilding techniques, establishing centralized command structures, and leveraging strategic infrastructure in Istanbul, the Ottomans transformed their naval capabilities into a formidable force. This evolution allowed the Ottoman navy to assert dominance in the Mediterranean, secure crucial trade routes, and project power across vast maritime territories, shaping the empire's influence on regional and global scales. Murad I, 1362 to 1389. Murad I, who reigned from 1362 to 1389, met a dramatic and violent end on 15 June 1389 at Kosovo Field during the Battle of Kosovo. He was assassinated by a Serbian knight, Milos Obilic, after the battle. This event was significant as it underscored the intense and ongoing conflict between the Ottomans and European states. Murad I's reign was marked by substantial military expansion into the Balkans, including the significant victories at the Battle of Maritsa and the Battle of Kosovo, which consolidated Ottoman control over much of southeastern Europe. His administrative reforms, such as the establishment of the Janissaries, a professional military corps, and the development of a centralized administrative system, laid the groundwork for a more organized and effective state. The assassination of Murad I, the first Ottoman Sultan to die in battle, was a shocking and pivotal moment, highlighting the dangers and volatility of the period. Following his death, his son Bayezid I ascended to the throne, continuing the expansionist policies and dealing with the immediate challenges posed by the aftermath of the Battle of Kosovo. Murad I's death symbolized both the Ottoman Empire's growing power and the fierce resistance it faced, marking a critical juncture in the empire's history. Significance. The Ottoman Navy's significance extended beyond military power in several critical ways. Firstly, safeguarding maritime trade routes was essential for Ottoman economic prosperity, ensuring the uninterrupted flow of goods and revenue from regions under Ottoman control such as Egypt, Syria, and the Balkans. This protection facilitated trade networks that were crucial for sustaining the empire's economic stability and growth. Secondly, the Navy played a pivotal role in projecting Ottoman influence across the Mediterranean, Eastern Mediterranean, and beyond. By controlling strategic maritime choke points and challenging European rivals, the Ottomans asserted dominance in crucial waterways, bolstering their geopolitical standing and facilitating expansive territorial control. These dual roles of protecting trade and projecting power underscored the Ottoman Navy's integral contribution to the empire's economic vitality and geopolitical influence during its peak. Key battles. Battle of Preveza, 1538. In 1538, Ottoman Admiral Barbarossa's fleet confronted the Holy League, a coalition of European Christian states led by Spain and Venice. At the Battle of Preveza, the Ottomans, leveraging advanced shipbuilding techniques and strategic naval tactics, secured a decisive victory. Barbarossa's fleet effectively utilized galleys and galleasses armed with cannons, outmaneuvering and defeating the Holy League forces. This victory asserted Ottoman dominance in the Eastern Mediterranean and solidified their control over key maritime trade routes. The defeat also significantly weakened European attempts to challenge Ottoman naval superiority, demonstrating the effectiveness of Ottoman naval strategies and the formidable leadership of Barbarossa. Battle of Lepanto, 1571. The Battle of Lepanto in 1571 was a monumental clash between the Ottoman Navy, commanded by Grand Admiral Ali Pasha, and the Holy League fleet led by Don John of Austria. The Holy League was a coalition formed by Spain, Venice, the Papal States, and other Christian powers to counter Ottoman expansion in the Mediterranean. The battle took place near the Gulf of Corinth, off the western coast of Greece. Despite facing a numerically superior opponent and employing advanced Venetian and Spanish warships, the Ottoman fleet fought valiantly. The battle resulted in substantial losses on both sides, with the Ottomans losing more ships and men than the Holy League. While Lepanto did not cripple the Ottoman navy, it symbolized a setback and underscored the challenges of maintaining dominance against concerted European coalition efforts. Despite this defeat, the Ottomans demonstrated resilience and strategic adaptability in naval warfare, continuing to wield significant naval power in the Mediterranean. The aftermath of Lepanto reshaped European perceptions of Ottoman naval capabilities and highlighted the ongoing struggle for control of maritime trade routes and strategic waterways in the Mediterranean region. Expansion ambitions, strategic importance. Ottoman control over maritime trade routes was pivotal in facilitating the exchange of goods, technology, and ideas across key regions including the Mediterranean, Red Sea, and Indian Ocean. This control bolstered the empire's economic vitality, allowing for lucrative trade networks that sustained Ottoman prosperity and power. Military logistics. Naval power played a crucial role in enabling rapid troop movements and logistical support for Ottoman military campaigns. This capability was instrumental in reinforcing territorial control and extending Ottoman geopolitical influence into regions such as North Africa, the Balkans, and the Caucasus. By maintaining a strong naval presence, the Ottomans secured supply lines and logistical routes critical for sustaining their expansive territorial holdings and projecting military strength across diverse and often distant fronts. Bayezid I, 1389 to 1402. Bayezid I, who reigned from 1389 to 1402, met a tragic end on 8 March 1403 in Aksur, Anatolia. He died in captivity after being captured by Tamerlane following the devastating defeat at the Battle of Ankara in 1402. Bayezid I's reign was marked by ambitious military campaigns and territorial expansion, including significant conquests in the Balkans and Anatolia. His tenure saw both the peak of Ottoman power and the challenges of overextension and external threats. The Battle of Ankara proved catastrophic for Bayezid I, as Tamerlane's forces decisively defeated the Ottoman army, leading to Bayezid's capture. His captivity under Tamerlane marked a humiliating chapter in Ottoman history and precipitated the Ottoman interregnum, a period of civil war and instability among Bayezid's sons vying for the throne. This internal strife weakened the empire and temporarily halted its expansionist momentum. Bayezid I's death in captivity, shortly after the Battle of Ankara, had profound implications for the Ottoman Empire. It plunged the state into a period of turmoil, with rival claimants to the throne fighting for supremacy. The Ottoman interregnum highlighted the fragility of succession in the empire and the challenges of maintaining unity during times of crisis. Bayezid I's defeat and subsequent death underscored the complexities and dangers of imperial ambition, as well as the external pressures faced by the Ottomans from powerful neighbors like Tamerlane's Timurid Empire. His legacy as a ruler who expanded Ottoman territories, but ultimately faced catastrophic defeat and internal strife, serves as a cautionary tale in Ottoman history. Mediterranean dominance. Strategic bases. The Ottoman Empire's naval dominance in the Mediterranean was underpinned by strategic bases located in key cities such as Istanbul, Algiers, and Alexandria. These bases served as vital hubs for naval operations, providing logistical support and acting as strategic points for defending Ottoman territorial waters. Istanbul, in particular, with its strategic location at the crossroads of Europe and Asia, housed extensive shipyards and naval infrastructure in the Golden Horn, facilitating the rapid deployment and maintenance of Ottoman naval forces. Challenges to European hegemony. Ottoman naval expeditions into the Western Mediterranean posed significant challenges to the established dominance of European powers, particularly Spain and Venice. These expeditions influenced maritime policies and alliances among European states, compelling them to reassess their naval strategies and defenses. The Ottomans' ability to project power into the Western Mediterranean disrupted traditional trade routes and naval supremacy, forcing European powers to adapt their naval capabilities and diplomatic relations to counter Ottoman expansion and protect their own economic and strategic interests in the region. Global reach. The Ottoman Empire's global reach in the 16th century was defined by strategic naval expeditions that extended its influence into the Red Sea and Indian Ocean, challenging Portuguese and Venetian dominance in key trade routes linking Europe, Asia, and Africa. Ottoman naval prowess facilitated the expansion of trade networks crucial for the empire's economic prosperity and geopolitical influence. By establishing naval bases in strategic locations such as Istanbul, Algiers, and Alexandria, the Ottomans not only secured their territorial waters, but also disrupted European hegemony in the Mediterranean. These actions reshaped maritime geopolitics, compelling European powers to adapt their naval strategies and alliances to counter Ottoman expansion and protect their commercial interests. Motivation for colonization. The Ottoman Empire's economic motivations for colonization were multifaceted and strategic. Firstly, colonization offered access to valuable resources such as precious metals, spices, timber, and agricultural products that were not readily available within Ottoman territories. Controlling these resources promised economic growth and increased revenue through taxation and trade. Secondly, expanding into new territories allowed the Ottomans to establish and control lucrative trade routes across the Atlantic, Pacific, and Indian Oceans, as well as overland routes connecting Europe, Asia, and Africa. These routes facilitated the exchange of goods, technologies, and cultural influences, enriching the empire economically. Lastly, facing economic competition from European powers like Spain, Portugal, England, and France, who were expanding their colonial empires, the Ottomans sought to maintain and enhance their economic competitiveness on a global scale by establishing their own colonies and securing vital trade networks. Mehmed I, 1413 to 1421. Mehmed I, who reigned from 1413 to 1421, passed away on 26 May 1421 in Edirne, Ottoman Empire, due to natural causes, possibly a stroke. His death marked a significant moment in Ottoman history as it led to the succession of his son, Murad II. Mehmed I's reign was characterized by his efforts to stabilize the empire after the turmoil of the Ottoman interregnum. He successfully consolidated power, strengthened central authority, and restored internal order. Mehmed I also initiated diplomatic efforts with neighboring states and managed to secure peace treaties that allowed the Ottomans to focus on internal development and territorial expansion. His policies laid the groundwork for the continued growth and consolidation of the Ottoman Empire under his successors. Edirne, where he died, was a key administrative and cultural center of the Ottoman Empire, symbolizing Mehmed I's efforts to centralize and govern effectively. His death, although from natural causes, marked the end of a period of stability and the beginning of a new phase under Murad II, who continued his father's policies while facing new challenges and opportunities in further expanding Ottoman influence across the region. Religious factors. Religious motivations were central to Ottoman colonization efforts, driven by several key factors. Firstly, Ottoman rulers viewed the spread of Islam as a religious duty, jihad, and a means to strengthen the unity of the Muslim community, Ummah. Colonization provided opportunities to convert non-Muslim populations and integrate them into the broader Islamic world, fostering cultural and religious cohesion. Secondly, the Ottomans perceived European Christian expansionism as a direct threat to Islamic territories and influence. By colonizing strategic regions such as North Africa, the Balkans, and Eastern Europe, the Ottomans aimed to counterbalance Christian dominance and secure Muslim-majority areas, thereby safeguarding Islamic principles and practices. Additionally, Ottoman colonization facilitated significant cultural and religious exchanges among Muslim, Christian, and indigenous populations. Islamic institutions, including mosques, madrasas, educational institutions, and Sufi orders, were established in newly colonized territories, promoting Islamic teachings and traditions while accommodating diverse religious practices. This cultural and religious exchange contributed to the richness and diversity of Ottoman society across its expansive empire. Political ambitions. Political ambitions were a driving force behind Ottoman efforts towards colonization, driven by several strategic objectives. Firstly, Ottoman rulers aimed to enhance their empire's global influence and power, seeking to establish hegemony over key regions and trade routes beyond their traditional domains in Southeast Europe, Western Asia, and North Africa. Colonization provided avenues for projecting Ottoman power into new territories, thereby bolstering geopolitical standing and influencing international diplomacy and alliances. Secondly, colonized territories served as crucial strategic military bases, allowing the Ottomans to defend vital maritime and overland routes, monitor European rivals, and consolidate their military presence in contested regions. Lastly, expansion and colonization were viewed as essential for enhancing the prestige and legacy of the Ottoman dynasty. Ottoman rulers sought to leave a lasting imprint of imperial strength, economic prosperity, and cultural influence through territorial expansion, thereby solidifying their place in history and asserting their legitimacy as leaders of a vast and powerful empire. This detailed exploration highlights how economic, religious, and political motivations intertwined to drive Ottoman colonization efforts, shaping the empire's expansion and global influence during its peak centuries. Murad II, 1421 to 1444, 1446 to 1451. Murad II, who reigned in two non-consecutive periods from 1421 to 1444 and from 1446 to 1451, passed away on 3 February 1451 in Edirne, Ottoman Empire, due to natural causes. His death marked a pivotal moment in Ottoman history as it paved the way for his son, Mehmed II, to ascend the throne and achieve one of the most significant conquests in history, the fall of Constantinople. Murad II's reign was characterized by both military successes and challenges. During his first reign, he consolidated Ottoman control over Anatolia and the Balkans, continuing the expansionist policies of his predecessors. His decision to abdicate in 1444 was followed by a brief retirement, but he returned to the throne in 1446 due to internal challenges within the empire. Murad II's leadership during his second reign focused on stabilizing the empire and preparing for renewed conflict with Christian powers. Edirne, where he died, held strategic importance as a major administrative and military center of the Ottoman Empire. Murad II's death from natural causes underscored the uncertainties of succession and the challenges of maintaining internal cohesion during times of external threat. His passing allowed Mehmed II, who had been preparing extensively for the throne, to ascend and fulfill his ambition of conquering Constantinople in 1453. This conquest not only solidified Ottoman dominance over the Byzantine Empire, but also marked a watershed moment in world history, shaping the trajectory of the Ottoman Empire and European geopolitics for centuries to come. Murad II's death, therefore, not only marked the end of his rule but also set in motion events that would redefine the balance of power in the Eastern Mediterranean and beyond. Certainly, let's explore the theoretical aspects of an Ottoman journey to the Americas in more detail. Theoretical exploration. Journey to the Americas. To theorize Ottoman exploration and potential routes to the Americas, we can delve deeper into the logistical and navigational aspects. Atlantic Ocean route. Ottoman ships departing from Ottoman-controlled ports in the Mediterranean, such as Istanbul or Algiers, would first navigate through the Strait of Gibraltar. This passage posed initial challenges due to strong currents and unpredictable weather conditions. Upon entering the Atlantic, Ottoman navigators could have followed established trade routes along the West African coast. This route would have allowed for resupply stops at Portuguese and Spanish colonies like the Canary Islands and Cape Verde, essential for replenishing water, food supplies, and crew morale during the long voyage. From these points, Ottoman fleets might have continued southwest towards the Portuguese-held territories in Brazil, or aimed directly across the Atlantic towards the Caribbean islands or the northeastern coast of South America. Eastern Atlantic route. Alternatively, Ottoman explorers might have opted for a northern Atlantic route, sailing westward from the Mediterranean towards the northern coast of Europe. This route would involve navigating around the Iberian Peninsula, potentially passing north of Spain and Portugal. Ottoman ships could have then ventured further westward, aiming to reach the eastern coast of North America. This route, although longer and more challenging due to colder waters and potentially hazardous weather conditions, would have opened up opportunities for Ottoman exploration and potential colonization efforts in areas previously unclaimed by European powers. In considering these theoretical routes, Ottoman exploration to the Americas would have required advanced navigational skills, knowledge of maritime currents and winds, and adequate provisioning for long sea voyages. It would also have involved diplomatic considerations to navigate potential encounters with existing European colonies and indigenous populations. Such an endeavor would have represented a bold extension of Ottoman geopolitical and economic ambitions beyond their established territories in Europe, Asia, and North Africa, reflecting their strategic pursuit of global influence and resources during the height of their power. Technological feasibility. For Ottoman exploration to the Americas, significant advancements in naval technology and seafaring capabilities would have been imperative. Ottoman shipbuilders, renowned for their expertise in constructing galleys and other vessels, would need to adapt ship designs for transatlantic voyages. This adaptation would include enhancing hull stability, storage capacity for provisions like food and water, and accommodations for the crew to endure long journeys at sea. Navigation would rely heavily on Ottoman navigators' skills in celestial navigation and the use of navigational instruments such as astrolabes and compasses, crucial for plotting accurate courses across vast, unfamiliar oceans. Seafaring skills honed in the Mediterranean and Black Sea would need augmentation to handle the challenges of prolonged voyages, unpredictable weather patterns, and encounters with new maritime conditions. These technological and skill advancements would be essential for Ottoman fleets to successfully undertake and navigate the ambitious journey to the Americas. Mehmed II, 1444 to 1446, 1451 to 1481. Mehmed II, known as Mehmed the Conqueror, reigned in two non-consecutive periods from 1444 to 1446 and from 1451 to 1481. He passed away on 3 May 1481 in Gebze, Ottoman Empire, under circumstances believed to be possibly due to poisoning, although natural causes such as a heart attack or stroke are also considered. His death marked a crucial moment in Ottoman history as it concluded a period of significant expansion and began a phase of internal consolidation under his successors. Mehmed II's reign is best known for his conquest of Constantinople in 1453, a feat that transformed the Ottoman Empire into a major European power and marked the end of the Byzantine Empire. Constantinople's capture solidified Mehmed II's reputation as one of the greatest military strategists and rulers of his time. He subsequently embarked on further military campaigns, expanding Ottoman territories into the Balkans, Greece, and the Black Sea region. Gebze, where Mehmed II died, was a town of strategic importance near Constantinople, reflecting Mehmed II's efforts to govern and defend the heartland of the Ottoman Empire. His death, whether from natural causes or foul play, led to a period of succession uncertainty and internal challenges. Mehmed II's ambitious policies had expanded the empire to its greatest territorial extent yet, but they also stretched its administrative and military capacities. His successors faced the dual tasks of maintaining the empire's vast domains and consolidating internal governance. Mehmed II's death, therefore, not only marked the end of an era of conquest and expansion, but also initiated a phase of consolidation and governance under subsequent sultans. His legacy as the conqueror of Constantinople and a transformative figure in Ottoman history ensured that his death would shape the empire's trajectory and influence for generations to come. Challenges and risks. Transatlantic voyages pose significant logistical and environmental challenges for Ottoman fleets venturing towards the Americas. The sheer distance spanning thousands of miles across the Atlantic Ocean meant that voyages would require meticulous planning to sustain crews for extended periods at sea. Provisions of food and water had to be carefully calculated and stored to ensure they lasted throughout the journey, as frequent resupplying was not feasible. Moreover, the health and morale of sailors were critical considerations due to the prolonged isolation and monotony of sea travel. Navigating the Atlantic Ocean presented further obstacles. Ottoman navigators relied on traditional methods like celestial navigation and rudimentary instruments such as astrolabes and compasses to chart their course. The unpredictable weather conditions posed significant risks, with potential encounters with violent storms, hurricanes, and dense fog that could disrupt navigation and endanger the fleet. Unlike in the Mediterranean, where routes were more familiar and ports of call abundant, transatlantic voyages offered no such luxuries. Ottoman ships had to be self-sufficient, carrying enough supplies, repair materials, and medical provisions to endure the journey and any unforeseen challenges that arose. Overall, the challenges of distance, unpredictable weather, navigation in unfamiliar waters, and the need for self-sustainability made transatlantic voyages a daunting prospect for Ottoman fleets aspiring to reach and establish colonies in the Americas. These factors underscored the ambitious nature of Ottoman exploration and colonization efforts beyond their traditional domains. This theoretical exploration illustrates the logistical, technological, and environmental considerations involved in hypothesizing an Ottoman journey to the Americas, reflecting the challenges and risks inherent in transatlantic exploration during the Ottoman Empire's era. Certainly, let's delve into how the Ottomans might have approached establishing colonies in the Americas. Establishing colonies. When encountering indigenous peoples in the Americas, Ottoman explorers and sailors likely engaged in various interactions aimed at establishing diplomatic relations and fostering cultural exchange. Diplomatic encounters would have involved gestures of goodwill, such as gift exchanges and cultural displays to build initial trust and mutual respect. Ottoman officials proficient in languages like Arabic and Persian might have served as interpreters, facilitating communication with indigenous leaders and negotiating terms of trade and cooperation. Trade played a crucial role in Ottoman interactions with diverse cultures, and they likely engaged in trade with indigenous communities to exchange goods. Ottomans would have offered items such as textiles, metalwork, and spices from their established trade networks in exchange for local resources like foodstuffs, furs, and unique materials found in the Americas. This exchange would have facilitated economic partnerships and mutual benefits for both Ottoman traders and indigenous groups. Cultural exchange would also have been significant. Ottoman travelers and scholars, curious about the new lands and peoples they encountered, would likely have documented indigenous cultures, languages, and customs. These observations and records would have enriched Ottoman intellectual circles, influencing art, literature, and scholarly works back in the empire. Such cultural exchanges would have contributed to a broader understanding of the Americas within Ottoman society and fostered a deeper appreciation for the diversity of the world beyond their traditional domains. Bayezid II, 1481 to 1512. Bayezid II, who reigned from 1481 to 1512, passed away on 26 May 1512 in Dynasty, Ottoman Empire, due to natural causes. His death occurred shortly after his forced abdication by his son, Suleiman, marking a significant shift in Ottoman policy and leadership. Bayezid II's reign was marked by efforts to maintain internal stability and consolidate Ottoman control over its vast territories. He faced challenges from various internal factions and external pressures, including conflicts with the Mamluks and Venetians. Bayezid II pursued a policy of cautious diplomacy and consolidation, avoiding large-scale military campaigns and focusing on administrative reforms and cultural patronage. Toka, where Bayezid II died, was a town in Thrace with strategic importance in Ottoman administrative and military affairs. His death, occurring shortly after being deposed by his ambitious son, Suleiman I, marked the end of a relatively peaceful and stable period in Ottoman history. Suleiman I, known for his aggressive expansionist policies, succeeded Bayezid II and immediately embarked on campaigns to expand Ottoman territories in the Middle East and North Africa. Bayezid II's death, therefore, not only signaled a change in leadership but also initiated a period of renewed military conquest and expansion under Suleiman I. The transition highlighted the dynamic nature of Ottoman succession and the ongoing struggle between stability and expansionism within the empire. Settlement strategies. Strategies for Ottoman colonization efforts in the Americas would likely have involved a mix of diplomatic, strategic, and defensive approaches. Strategic alliances. Ottomans would have sought alliances with indigenous tribes sharing common interests, such as defense against European rivals or facilitating trade. These alliances would offer local knowledge and support, enhancing Ottoman capabilities in unfamiliar territories. Fortified trading posts. Initial Ottoman settlements could have been fortified trading posts strategically positioned along coastlines or major rivers. These posts would serve as hubs for trade, diplomacy, and defense, facilitating interactions with indigenous peoples while safeguarding Ottoman interests against potential threats. Conflict and diplomacy. Inevitable conflicts with indigenous tribes over territory, resources, or cultural differences would require Ottoman responses ranging from diplomatic negotiations to military engagements. Ottomans would adapt their strategies based on local circumstances and their broader colonial objectives. These strategies would have allowed the Ottomans to navigate the complexities of establishing colonies in the Americas, leveraging alliances, fortified positions, and strategic diplomacy to secure their foothold and expand influence in the New World. Governance and administration. In implementing Ottoman administrative practices in the New World, several key strategies might have been employed. Millet system adaptation. The Ottoman millet system, known for granting autonomy to religious and ethnic communities, could have been adapted to accommodate indigenous societies. Local leaders and communities might have been recognized as autonomous entities under Ottoman suzerainty, allowing them to govern themselves according to their own customs and traditions while remaining within the broader Ottoman framework. Islamic law and justice. Ottoman legal principles, including Sharia law, might have been applied alongside indigenous customary laws to ensure justice and order in Ottoman colonies. Ottoman Qadis, judges, could have been appointed to adjudicate disputes and administer justice, integrating Islamic legal traditions with local practices to maintain social harmony. Infrastructure development. Ottoman engineering expertise would likely have been utilized to develop essential infrastructure in Ottoman colonies. This could include the construction of mosques for religious worship, public baths, hammams for hygiene and social gatherings, and irrigation systems to enhance agricultural productivity. These infrastructural developments would not only support the daily lives of inhabitants, but also signify Ottoman presence and investment in local communities. By adapting the millet system for local governance, implementing a blended legal framework, and focusing on infrastructure development, the Ottomans could have established stable and functional colonies in the Americas while respecting and incorporating indigenous cultures and practices into their administrative structures. Certainly, let's explore the potential cultural and societal impacts of Ottoman presence in the Americas. Cultural and societal impacts. In the context of cultural exchange between Ottomans and indigenous peoples in the Americas, several avenues for mutual enrichment can be explored. Language and communication. Ottoman explorers and settlers would likely have learned indigenous languages to facilitate trade, diplomacy, and cultural exchange. Conversely, Indigenous peoples could have adopted Ottoman languages like Turkish, Arabic, or Persian for communication with Ottoman officials and traders, fostering linguistic diversity and mutual understanding. Art and craftsmanship. Ottoman artisans and indigenous craftsmen could have exchanged techniques and styles, influencing artistic forms such as pottery, textile weaving, and metalwork. This cultural fusion might have resulted in unique artistic expressions blending Ottoman motifs with indigenous designs, enriching both cultural traditions. Culinary exchange. Ottoman cuisine, renowned for its diversity and use of spices, might have incorporated indigenous ingredients such as maize, potatoes, and various tropical fruits found in the Americas. Similarly, indigenous culinary traditions could have influenced Ottoman cooking practices, leading to the creation of new dishes and culinary techniques that reflect a blend of Ottoman and indigenous flavors. These exchanges would not only have enhanced the cultural tapestry of both societies, but also promoted mutual respect and cooperation, contributing to a vibrant cultural landscape in Ottoman colonies in the Americas. Religion and education. In the context of Ottoman colonization in the Americas, the influence of Islam on native religions and the establishment of educational institutions could have unfolded as follows. Religious syncretism. Ottoman settlers and missionaries introducing Islam to indigenous populations might have sparked a syncretic blending of Islamic beliefs with indigenous spiritual practices. This cultural exchange could have led to the emergence of new religious rituals, beliefs, and symbols that integrated elements from both traditions. For example, indigenous ceremonies and customs might have incorporated Islamic prayers or symbols, adapting to local contexts while maintaining core Islamic principles. Educational institutions. Ottoman educational practices, such as madrasas, Islamic schools, and libraries, could have been established in colonial settlements. These institutions would serve to educate Ottoman settlers, indigenous converts, and children of local elites. Madrasas would have played a crucial role in promoting literacy, teaching Islamic scholarship, and preserving cultural heritage among Ottoman and indigenous communities. They would also facilitate the exchange of knowledge and ideas between Ottomans and indigenous peoples, fostering intellectual growth and mutual understanding. Overall, the introduction of Islam and the establishment of educational institutions by Ottomans in the Americas could have contributed to a complex tapestry of cultural and religious interactions. These interactions would have shaped the spiritual and educational landscape of Ottoman colonies, fostering a blend of traditions and knowledge systems that enriched both Ottoman and indigenous societies. Suleiman I, 1512 to 1520. Suleiman I, who reigned from 1512 to 1520, passed away on 22 September 1520 in Sorlu. Ottoman Empire, possibly due to cancer or a severe skin infection. His death marked the end of a short but impactful reign characterized by significant territorial expansion and consolidation of Ottoman power. Suleiman I's reign was marked by ambitious military campaigns that expanded Ottoman territories dramatically. One of his most notable achievements was the conquest of the Mamluk Sultanate in 1517, which brought Egypt, Syria, and the holy cities of Mecca and Medina under Ottoman control. This conquest not only extended Ottoman influence over key strategic and economic regions, but also enhanced the empire's status as a major Islamic power. Sorlu, where Suleiman I died, was a town in Thrace with strategic significance in Ottoman military and administrative affairs. His death, whether from cancer or a skin infection, came at a time when the empire was consolidating its newly acquired territories and facing internal and external challenges. Suleiman I's aggressive expansionist policies reshaped the geopolitical landscape of the Middle East and North Africa, setting the stage for future Ottoman dominance in the region. Suleiman I's death, therefore, marked the conclusion of a transformative period of expansion and consolidation under his leadership. His legacy as a conqueror and empire builder ensured that his reign would be remembered for its significant territorial gains and strategic advancements, laying the foundation for further Ottoman expansion and influence in the centuries to come. Urban development. In imagining Ottoman urban development in the Americas, several key aspects of architectural, infrastructural, and economic influences can be speculated upon. Architectural synthesis. Ottoman architects would likely have adapted their traditional styles, characterized by domes, minarets, and intricate tilework, to suit local environmental conditions and utilize indigenous building materials. This fusion of Ottoman architectural elements with local styles could have given rise to distinctive urban landscapes and monumental structures. For example, mosques adorned with Ottoman-style minarets might have been integrated with indigenous motifs and construction techniques, creating unique architectural expressions that reflected both Ottoman heritage and local culture. Infrastructure projects. Ottoman engineers, known for their expertise in hydraulic engineering and urban planning, could have undertaken ambitious infrastructure projects in colonial settlements. This might include the development of sophisticated water supply systems to support growing populations, the construction of public baths, hammams for hygiene and social interaction, and the fortification of city walls to enhance defense capabilities. These infrastructural investments would have not only improved urban livability, but also bolstered economic productivity and resilience against external threats. Trade hubs. Ottoman cities in the Americas could have flourished as vibrant trade hubs, facilitating commercial exchanges between Ottoman merchants, indigenous traders, and European colonial powers. The presence of Ottoman markets, bazaars, and trading posts would have attracted a diverse array of goods and people, fostering cultural diversity and stimulating artistic innovation. This economic activity would have contributed to the growth of urban centers, with bustling streets lined with workshops, warehouses, and merchant houses reflecting the cosmopolitan nature of Ottoman colonial settlements. Overall, Ottoman urban development in the Americas would have been characterized by a synthesis of architectural styles, strategic infrastructure investments, and bustling economic activities. These elements would have shaped distinctive urban landscapes that blended Ottoman traditions with local influences, contributing to the cultural richness and economic dynamism of Ottoman colonies in the New World. Economic implications. In considering how the Ottomans might have exploited the natural resources of the Americas, several key economic strategies can be analyzed. Mining and extraction. Ottoman settlers and explorers would likely have targeted abundant natural resources such as precious metals, gold, silver, gemstones, and minerals, copper, iron. Ottoman mining techniques, honed through experience in Anatolia and the Balkans, could have been adapted to extract these resources efficiently. Mines established in regions rich in minerals would have supplied raw materials for export to Ottoman markets, contributing to the empire's wealth and economic growth. Agricultural commodities. The fertile soils and favorable climates of the Americas would have been ideal for cultivating agricultural commodities suited to Ottoman tastes and demands. Ottoman settlers might have introduced crops such as sugarcane, tobacco, cotton, and various tropical fruits to exploit these natural advantages. Ottoman agricultural practices, including advanced irrigation systems and crop rotation techniques, could have been implemented to optimize productivity and ensure a steady supply of diverse agricultural exports back to Ottoman territories in Europe, Asia, and Africa. Timber and natural products. The vast forests of the Americas would have provided a ready supply of valuable timber for shipbuilding, construction, and woodworking industries in Ottoman colonies. Ottoman shipyards could have relied on locally sourced timber to construct and repair ships, enhancing naval capabilities and supporting maritime trade. Furthermore, natural products such as medicinal herbs, dyes derived from indigenous plants, and exotic woods prized for their unique properties could have been harvested and traded with Ottoman markets, enriching the empire's commercial offerings and stimulating economic activity. Overall, Ottoman exploitation of the Americas' natural resources would have been multifaceted, involving mining for precious metals, cultivation of agricultural commodities, and harvesting timber and exotic natural products. These endeavors would have not only bolstered Ottoman economic prosperity but also contributed to the integration of American resources into the global trade networks controlled by the Ottoman Empire. Suleiman the Magnificent, 1520 to 1566. Suleiman the Magnificent, who reigned from 1520 to 1566, passed away on 6 September 1566 in Szigedvár, Hungary, due to natural causes, likely attributed to old age and illness. His death marked the end of a long and prosperous reign that left an indelible mark on Ottoman history and the broader geopolitical landscape. Suleiman's reign was characterized by significant military conquests, administrative reforms, and cultural flourishing, earning him the title the Magnificent. Under his leadership, the Ottoman Empire reached its zenith, extending from Central Europe to the Persian Gulf and North Africa. Suleiman's military campaigns included the conquest of Belgrade, Rhodes, and the decisive capture of Budapest in 1526, solidifying Ottoman dominance in southeastern Europe. Szigedvár, where Suleiman died, was the site of his final military campaign against the Habsburgs. His death, coming after a prolonged illness, marked the conclusion of a transformative era in Ottoman history. Suleiman's legacy includes significant legal and administrative reforms, such as the codification of laws, canones, and the restructuring of government institutions, which contributed to the empire's efficient governance and cultural renaissance. The impact of Suleiman's death was felt across the Ottoman Empire and beyond. His successor, Selim II, inherited a vast and powerful state but faced challenges in maintaining the empire's unity and continuing its expansion. Suleiman's death, therefore, not only marked the end of an era of unprecedented Ottoman power and influence but also signaled the beginning of new challenges and opportunities for his successors. Trade networks. The integration of American resources into existing Ottoman trade networks would have had profound implications for the empire's economic dynamics. Maritime trade routes. Ottoman colonies in the Americas could have been linked to Ottoman trade routes through well-established maritime connections. Goods such as precious metals, agricultural commodities like sugarcane and tobacco, timber, and exotic natural products would have been transported across the Atlantic Ocean to major Ottoman ports such as Istanbul, Alexandria, and Algiers. These ports served as vital hubs for trade with Europe, Asia, and Africa, facilitating the exchange of goods and wealth across vast distances. Commercial hubs. Ottoman cities in the Americas would likely have functioned as vibrant commercial centers, attracting indigenous producers, Ottoman merchants, and European traders alike. These cities would have served as focal points for trade, where commodities from the Americas, procured through local production or indigenous trade networks, would be exchanged for Ottoman goods such as textiles, spices, ceramics, and luxury items. This integration would have diversified Ottoman trade routes, enhancing the empire's economic resilience and strengthening its position in global markets. Cultural exchange. Trade with the Americas would have introduced new goods, technologies, and cultural influences to Ottoman society. American products like maize, potatoes, cocoa, and indigenous crafts would have enriched Ottoman markets and stimulated consumer demand. This exchange would also have fostered artisanal production and entrepreneurial activities in Ottoman cities, as craftsmen and traders adapted to incorporate new materials and techniques into their work. Moreover, cultural interactions between Ottomans and indigenous peoples could have led to the exchange of ideas, customs, and languages, enriching the cultural tapestry of Ottoman society. In summary, the integration of American resources into Ottoman trade networks would have bolstered the empire's economic prowess, diversified its commercial activities, and fostered cultural exchange on a global scale. This interaction would have contributed to the Ottoman Empire's resilience and adaptability in the face of changing economic landscapes and geopolitical challenges during the era of global exploration and colonization. Economic transformation. The economic impact of Ottoman rule in the Americas would likely have been transformative, driven by several key factors. Infrastructure development. Ottoman investments in infrastructure such as ports, roads, and marketplaces would have laid the foundation for economic growth and urbanization in colonial settlements. Improved transportation networks would have facilitated trade both within Ottoman colonies and with global markets, enhancing economic interactions and commercial efficiency. Labor and production. Ottoman colonies could have employed a diverse workforce comprising indigenous peoples, enslaved Africans, and Ottoman settlers. This labor diversity would have supported various economic sectors, including resource extraction, agriculture, and manufacturing. The utilization of different labor systems would have influenced demographic patterns and social structures within Ottoman colonial societies. Economic integration. The integration of American resources into Ottoman economies would have bolstered the empire's economic resilience and global competitiveness. Precious metals. Agricultural products such as sugarcane and tobacco, and other raw materials would have contributed to Ottoman state revenues. These resources could have funded military expenditures, supported imperial expansion, and enriched Ottoman merchants involved in transatlantic trade. This analysis explores how Ottoman exploitation of natural resources, integration into trade networks, and economic transformations could have shaped colonial economies in the Americas, illustrating potential economic impacts of Ottoman presence in the New World. Suleiman II, 1566 to 1574. Suleiman II, who reigned from 1566 to 1574, passed away on 15 December 1574 in Topkapi Palace, Istanbul, Ottoman Empire, due to injuries from a fall and subsequent illness. His death marked a significant moment in Ottoman history as it led to the succession of his son, Murad III. Suleiman II's reign was marked by both internal challenges and significant diplomatic developments. He faced issues of governance and administrative reform, while overseeing the continuation of Ottoman military campaigns and territorial expansion. During his reign, the Ottoman Empire faced ongoing conflicts with European powers and internal rebellions, requiring careful management of resources and alliances. Topkapi Palace, where Suleiman II died, was the political and administrative center of the Ottoman Empire, symbolizing the heart of imperial power and authority. His death, attributed to injuries sustained from a fall and subsequent illness, underscored the physical and political challenges faced by Ottoman rulers during this period. Suleiman II's successor, Murad III, inherited an empire facing both internal strife and external pressures, but continued the policies and governance structures established by his predecessors. Suleiman II's reign is remembered for its efforts to balance military expansion with diplomatic maneuvering, laying the groundwork for future Ottoman policies in the Mediterranean and beyond. Thus, Suleiman II's death not only marked the end of his personal rule, but also initiated a period of transition and continuity under Murad III, shaping Ottoman policies and governance in the late 16th century. Certainly, let's delve into how Ottoman military presence in the Americas could have impacted defense strategies, fortifications, and indigenous warfare. Military presence and defense. In defending their colonies in the Americas, the Ottomans would have likely employed a combination of military strategies. Naval supremacy. Ottoman naval forces would have been crucial in defending coastal settlements and trade routes. They might have utilized their naval supremacy in the Atlantic and Caribbean to conduct fleet maneuvers, patrols, and naval blockades. These actions would have deterred European colonial powers from challenging Ottoman control over maritime territories and trade routes. Fortified settlements. Ottoman colonies could have been fortified with defensive structures such as forts, bastions, and city walls. These fortifications would have served as strongholds against potential land-based attacks and sieges, providing protection for Ottoman settlers, indigenous allies, and vital infrastructure within the colonies. Alliances and diplomacy. Ottoman diplomats and military commanders likely would have pursued alliances with indigenous tribes across the Americas. These alliances could have been forged through mutual agreements, offering military support and protection in exchange for strategic cooperation against common European adversaries. By leveraging indigenous alliances, the Ottomans could have strengthened their defenses, expanded territorial control, and mitigated threats from European powers seeking to contest Ottoman presence in the New World. By implementing these military strategies, leveraging naval supremacy, fortifying settlements, and forming alliances, the Ottomans would have aimed to secure their colonies in the Americas against external threats, ensuring the longevity and stability of Ottoman territorial holdings in these distant lands. The Ottomans, in establishing military bases and fortifications in the Americas, would likely have implemented a strategic approach. Coastal fortresses. Ottoman engineers would have constructed robust coastal fortresses and naval bases along crucial maritime routes. These defenses would be strategically placed on islands in the Caribbean and along the eastern coast of North America. These fortifications would house Ottoman garrisons equipped with artillery batteries and supply depots. Their primary role would be to safeguard against naval attacks from European colonial powers and to provide logistical support for Ottoman fleets operating in these waters. Inland strongholds. Inland Ottoman settlements would have been fortified with citadels, defensive walls, and bastions to protect against raids and incursions by rival European colonial powers and potentially hostile indigenous groups. These fortified settlements would double as administrative centers and military outposts, projecting Ottoman authority over surrounding territories and ensuring the security of Ottoman settlers and allied indigenous populations. Strategic control points. Fortifications located at strategic points like river mouths, mountain passes, and natural harbors would allow Ottoman forces to control key transportation routes and defend Ottoman-controlled territories effectively. These military installations would likely be manned by Ottoman soldiers alongside allied indigenous warriors, forming a cohesive defense network against external threats and territorial encroachments. By establishing these military bases and fortifications, the Ottomans would have aimed to secure their foothold in the Americas, maintain control over vital maritime and inland routes, and protect their interests from rival European powers and local adversaries. Murad III, 1574 to 1595. Murad III, who reigned from 1574 to 1595, passed away on 16 January 1595 in Topkapi Palace, Istanbul, Ottoman Empire, due to natural causes, possibly exacerbated by obesity and illness. His death marked a significant moment in Ottoman history as it led to the succession of his son, Mehmed III. Murad III's reign was characterized by both military successes and internal challenges. He continued the Ottoman tradition of military campaigns in Europe, expanding Ottoman territories in Hungary and the Caucasus region. Murad III also oversaw cultural and artistic flourishing, contributing to the Ottoman Golden Age, marked by advancements in literature, architecture, and the arts. Topkapi Palace, where Murad III died, remained the political and administrative center of the Ottoman Empire, symbolizing continuity and stability in governance. His death, attributed to natural causes possibly linked to obesity and illness, highlighted the health concerns faced by Ottoman rulers during this period. The succession of Mehmed III, following Murad III's death, marked a transition in Ottoman leadership and policies. Mehmed III continued his father's military campaigns and cultural patronage while facing new challenges and opportunities in maintaining Ottoman dominance in Europe and the Middle East. Murad III's death, therefore, not only ended a period of stability and cultural flourishing, but also initiated a new phase under Mehmed III, shaping Ottoman policies and governance in the late 16th century and beyond. Impact on indigenous warfare. The Ottoman influence on indigenous warfare in the Americas would likely have had several notable impacts. Military training and equipment. Ottoman military advisors could have imparted training in advanced tactics, firearms usage, and fortification techniques to indigenous warriors. This training would have enhanced indigenous military capabilities, enabling them to better defend against European adversaries. Ottoman-supplied weaponry and armor could have modernized indigenous warfare, introducing new strategies and defensive measures. Tactical alliances. Ottoman alliances with indigenous tribes would have reshaped regional military dynamics. Indigenous groups aligned with the Ottomans could have gained access to Ottoman military technology, logistical support, and strategic intelligence. These alliances might have strengthened indigenous positions in conflicts against rival tribes and European settlers, fostering cooperation and mutual defense strategies. Cultural exchange. Ottoman influence could have led to the adoption of Ottoman military tactics, leadership structures, and organizational principles within indigenous military organizations. This cultural exchange would have diversified indigenous warfare strategies, integrating Ottoman methods with local traditions. Cooperation between Ottoman and indigenous forces in joint military campaigns could have been facilitated, leading to combined efforts against common enemies. This analysis explores how Ottoman military strategies, fortifications, and alliances could have influenced defense tactics and indigenous warfare in the Americas, illustrating potential military impacts of Ottoman presence in the New World. Certainly, let's explore the potential geopolitical shifts and European reactions to Ottoman colonization efforts in the Americas, as well as the broader global impacts. Geopolitical shifts. European reactions to Ottoman colonization efforts in the Americas would likely have been characterized by rivalry, military responses, and diplomatic maneuvering. Rivalry and competition. European powers such as Spain, Portugal, England, and France would have perceived Ottoman colonization as a direct challenge to their own ambitions in the New World. Competition for territorial control, access to resources like precious metals and agricultural products, and dominance over indigenous populations would have intensified. This rivalry could have fueled conflicts and heightened diplomatic tensions between European powers and the Ottomans. Military responses. European colonial powers would likely have mobilized military expeditions and naval fleets to counter Ottoman presence in the Americas. Naval skirmishes and land battles could have ensued as European forces sought to protect their established colonies and assert supremacy over Ottoman-controlled territories. Military engagements would have been a key aspect of European efforts to defend their interests and undermine Ottoman influence in the region. Diplomatic maneuvering. European monarchs and diplomats would have engaged in diplomatic negotiations, alliances, and treaties aimed at containing Ottoman expansion. Diplomatic efforts would have focused on limiting Ottoman territorial gains, disrupting Ottoman trade networks, and isolating Ottoman colonies from potential indigenous allies. These maneuvers could have reshaped alliances and geopolitical alignments among European powers, influencing global politics and strategies for colonial dominance. Overall, European reactions to Ottoman colonization in the Americas would have been marked by a complex interplay of rivalry, military conflict, and diplomatic maneuvering as European powers sought to safeguard their own interests and maintain supremacy in the New World. Mehmed III, 1595 to 1603. Mehmed III, who reigned from 1595 to 1603, passed away on 22 December 1603 in Topkapi Palace, Istanbul, Ottoman Empire, due to natural causes, possibly a heart attack. His death marked a significant moment in Ottoman history as it led to the succession of his son, Ahmed I. Mehmed III's reign was marked by both internal stability and external challenges. He continued his predecessor's policies of military campaigns and territorial expansion, consolidating Ottoman control over strategic regions in Europe and Asia. Mehmed III also oversaw administrative reforms and cultural developments, supporting the flourishing of Ottoman arts and sciences during the period. Topkapi Palace, where Mehmed III died, remained the focal point of Ottoman political and administrative power, witnessing the transition of leadership from Mehmed III to Ahmed I. His death, likely due to natural causes such as a heart attack, underscored the physical and health challenges faced by Ottoman rulers during this period. The succession of Ahmed I marked a continuation of Ottoman policies and governance, with new challenges and opportunities emerging on the domestic and international fronts. Mehmed III's death, therefore, not only ended his personal rule but also initiated a period of transition and continuity under Ahmed I, shaping Ottoman policies and developments in the early 17th century. Global power dynamics. The potential shifts in global power dynamics with the Ottomans as a major colonial power in the Americas would have been profound and multifaceted. Multipolar world order. Ottoman colonization alongside European empires would have contributed to a multipolar world order. The Ottomans, already a significant power in Eurasia, would have expanded their influence into the Americas, challenging the dominance of European powers like Spain, Portugal, England, and France. This redistribution of global power would have diversified political alliances, economic partnerships, and military strategies among competing imperial powers. Economic competition. Ottoman control over American resources such as precious metals, agricultural commodities, and strategic trade routes could have disrupted European monopolies and trade networks. Economic competition between Ottomans and Europeans would likely have intensified, leading to price fluctuations, market disruptions, and shifts in global economic centers of gravity. Ottoman economic prowess in the Americas could have bolstered their financial resources, funded further expansion efforts, and diversified global trade patterns. Cultural exchange and hybridization. Ottoman presence in the Americas would have facilitated extensive cultural exchange, religious syncretism, and technological diffusion between Ottoman, European, and indigenous societies. This cultural hybridization would have influenced artistic movements, intellectual exchange, and societal norms across continents. Ottoman architectural styles, culinary traditions, and artistic influences would have blended with local indigenous cultures and European colonial practices, enriching global cultural landscapes and shaping new cultural identities. Overall, Ottoman colonization in the Americas would have reshaped global power dynamics by introducing a multipolar world order, sparking economic competition with European powers, and fostering rich cultural exchanges that influenced global society for centuries to come. These potential shifts highlight the transformative impact Ottoman expansion could have had on the geopolitical, economic, and cultural landscape of the early modern world. Long-term impacts. The long-term geopolitical consequences of Ottoman presence in the Americas would have been profound and far-reaching. Colonial legacy. Ottoman colonization could have established lasting geopolitical imprints on the Americas. Ottoman administrative structures, influenced by the millet system and Sharia law, might have shaped local governance and legal frameworks. Territorial boundaries and cultural practices influenced by Ottoman rule could have persisted beyond Ottoman withdrawal, contributing to the formation of post-colonial political landscapes and national identities in the Americas. Global influence. Ottoman colonization in the Americas would likely have expanded Ottoman soft power and diplomatic influence on a global scale. Cultural initiatives. Educational institutions like madrasas and religious missions could have projected Ottoman ideologies and values across continents. This influence might have shaped geopolitical alliances and regional dynamics, fostering ties with diverse cultures and enhancing Ottoman prestige as a global power. Historical narratives. The memory of Ottoman colonization in the Americas could have significantly altered global historical narratives. Academic interpretations and public discourse on colonialism, intercultural interactions, and global heritage would likely include discussions on Ottoman contributions to American history. This reevaluation could have broadened perspectives on cultural diversity, redefined understandings of global encounters, and prompted scholarly debates on the impact of Ottoman expansion on the shaping of modern societies. In summary, Ottoman presence in the Americas would have left a lasting legacy that extended beyond mere territorial control, influencing governance structures, global diplomacy, and historical narratives for generations. These long-term impacts highlight the potential transformative effects Ottoman colonization could have had on the geopolitical, cultural, and intellectual landscapes of the early modern world and beyond. This speculative exploration highlights potential European reactions, shifts in global power dynamics, and long-term geopolitical consequences of Ottoman colonization efforts in the Americas, envisioning a complex interplay of imperial rivalries, cultural exchange, and historical legacies on a global scale. Ahmed I, 1603 to 1617. Ahmed I, who reigned from 1603 to 1617, passed away on 22 November 1617 in Topkapi Palace, Istanbul, Ottoman Empire, due to typhus or another severe illness. His death marked a significant moment in Ottoman history as it led to a period of uncertainty and the brief rule of Mustafa I. Ahmed I's reign was characterized by efforts to stabilize the Ottoman Empire after years of military campaigns and expansion under his predecessors. He pursued diplomatic initiatives and administrative reforms aimed at consolidating Ottoman territories and internal governance. Ahmed I's reign also saw advancements in cultural patronage and architectural achievements, contributing to the Ottoman Renaissance during the early 17th century. Topkapi Palace, where Ahmed I died, remained the center of Ottoman political and administrative affairs, witnessing the transition of power to his successor, Mustafa I. His death, attributed to typhus or another severe illness, highlighted the health challenges faced by Ottoman rulers and the uncertainties surrounding succession during this period. The brief rule of Mustafa I following Ahmed I's death marked a period of transition and internal turmoil within the Ottoman Empire. Mustafa I's reign, although short-lived, reflected broader challenges of governance and succession faced by the empire as it navigated domestic and external pressures. Ahmed I's death, therefore, not only ended a period of relative stability and cultural achievement, but also initiated a period of transition and uncertainty under Mustafa I, shaping Ottoman policies and governance in the early 17th century. Certainly, let's explore the potential legacy, historical divergences, and modern implications of Ottoman colonization in the Americas. Legacy and hypothetical outcomes. The potential cultural and societal legacies stemming from Ottoman colonization in the Americas would have been profound. Cultural syncretism. Ottoman presence could have sparked a vibrant cultural exchange, blending Ottoman, indigenous, and European influences. This fusion might have resulted in unique artistic expressions where Ottoman motifs mingled with indigenous designs and European aesthetics, shaping distinct architectural styles, pottery, and textile weaving techniques. Religious diversity. The introduction of Islam by Ottoman settlers and missionaries could have enriched religious diversity in the Americas. Syncretic religious practices, combining Islamic beliefs with indigenous spirituality and European Christian influences, might have emerged. This religious pluralism could have fostered tolerance, ethical frameworks, and new forms of interfaith dialogue within colonial societies. Language and literature. Ottoman educational institutions and cultural initiatives would likely have promoted linguistic diversity and literary achievements. Literary works, historical chronicles, and philosophical treatises produced in Ottoman American contexts could have contributed to global literary traditions and intellectual discourse. Ottoman influence might have influenced local languages, resulting in linguistic hybrids and new forms of expression. Overall, Ottoman colonization in the Americas could have left a legacy of cultural richness and diversity, where artistic, religious, and intellectual exchanges flourished, shaping the social fabric of colonial societies and leaving lasting imprints on global cultural heritage. Historical divergence. The hypothetical outcomes of Ottoman colonization in the Americas could have led to significant historical divergences. Geopolitical balancing act. Ottoman presence could have shifted global power dynamics, creating a multipolar world where Ottoman, European and indigenous alliances competed for dominance. This scenario might have redrawn colonial boundaries and reshaped diplomatic alliances, potentially leading to different geopolitical strategies and conflicts in subsequent centuries. The balance of power among these factions could have influenced the course of global history, altering the rise and fall of empires and the formation of modern nation-states. Economic transformations. Ottoman control over American resources, such as precious metals and agricultural commodities, could have disrupted European trade monopolies and economic hegemony. This economic competition might have accelerated technological innovations and industrial developments globally. Ottoman-American trade networks could have fostered new economic models and integration, impacting global commerce and financial systems in ways that diverge from the historical patterns of economic development. Cultural Renaissance. The cultural exchange facilitated by Ottoman colonization could have sparked artistic renaissances, scientific discoveries, and philosophical movements transcending regional boundaries. Intellectual currents and artistic innovations inspired by Ottoman-American interactions might have shaped global cultural landscapes and historical narratives. This cultural renaissance could have enriched human knowledge and creativity, influencing societal values, beliefs, and cultural identities worldwide. In summary, Ottoman colonization in the Americas presents a compelling alternate history where geopolitical, economic, and cultural dynamics could have evolved differently, leaving lasting impacts on global civilizations and shaping our understanding of modernity. Mustafa I, 1617 to 1618, 1622 to 1623. Mustafa I, who had two brief periods of reign from 1617 to 1618 and again from 1622 to 1623, passed away on 20 January 1639 in Topkapi Palace, Istanbul, Ottoman Empire, due to natural causes, possibly exacerbated by his mental instability. His death marked the end of a tumultuous period in Ottoman history characterized by his struggles with mental illness. Mustafa I's reign was marked by challenges stemming from his mental instability, which affected his ability to govern effectively. During his brief periods of rule, the empire faced internal discord and external pressures, requiring the intervention of his advisors and officials to maintain stability. Mustafa I's reign also highlighted the complexities of Ottoman succession and the impact of mental health issues on governance during this period. Topkapi Palace, where Mustafa I died, continued to serve as the symbolic and administrative center of the Ottoman Empire. Witnessing the challenges and uncertainties of Mustafa I's reign, his death, attributed to natural causes possibly aggravated by his mental condition, underscored the personal and political struggles faced by Ottoman rulers during times of instability. Mustafa I's death ended a tumultuous chapter in Ottoman history marked by his mental illness and the challenges it posed to governance and succession. His reign, although brief and troubled, reflected broader issues of leadership and stability within the empire as it navigated internal strife and external threats. Therefore, Mustafa I's death not only marked the end of his personal struggles but also initiated a period of reflection and reform within the Ottoman Empire as it sought to address the challenges of governance and succession in the early 17th century. Modern implications. The alternate history of Ottoman colonization in the Americas could have several modern implications. Global diplomacy. The historical precedent of Ottoman presence in the Americas could influence modern international relations and diplomatic strategies. Governments and international organizations might draw lessons from Ottoman-American interactions in managing cultural diversity, fostering mutual understanding, and promoting peaceful coexistence among diverse societies. Cultural heritage. Descendants of Ottoman settlers in the Americas could uphold and celebrate their cultural heritage, preserving traditions, languages, and communal identities shaped by Ottoman influences. This cultural continuity could enrich multicultural societies, contribute to diaspora communities, and foster transnational connections that embrace diverse cultural legacies. Historical reinterpretations. Alternate histories and speculative scenarios of Ottoman colonization could inspire new perspectives in academic research, literature, and media. By exploring what could have been, these reinterpretations might challenge mainstream historical narratives about colonialism, cultural encounters, and the impacts of empires on global civilizations. Such reflections could provoke discussions on historical justice, identity formation, and the complexities of cultural exchange in shaping contemporary societies. Overall, the hypothetical presence of Ottomans in the Americas offers a lens through which to reconsider global dynamics, cultural evolution, and the enduring legacies of historical encounters across continents. These speculations invite exploration into how such influences might have shaped and continue to shape our modern world. This speculative exploration envisions the cultural legacy, historical divergences, and modern implications of Ottoman colonization in the Americas, highlighting potential societal transformations and global influences stemming from alternate historical trajectories. Conclusion. In this video, we explored the hypothetical scenario of Ottoman colonization in the Americas, pondering how such an event might have reshaped global history. We discussed potential reactions from European powers to Ottoman expansion, envisioning a scenario where Ottoman presence could have catalyzed a multipolar world order, challenging European dominance. We imagined a vibrant cultural exchange between Ottomans, indigenous peoples, and Europeans, contemplating its influence on art, religion, and societal norms in the Americas. Analyzing economic impacts, we considered how Ottoman control over American resources could disrupt European trade monopolies, reshape global trade networks, and spur economic innovation. Lastly, we delved into Ottoman military strategies, fortifications, and alliances, speculating on their potential impact on indigenous warfare tactics and European military responses. Our exploration underscores the complex interplay of cultures, economies, and geopolitics, urging us to reflect on how alternate histories can resonate across centuries, shaping contemporary identities and global relations. As we contemplate these possibilities, let's critically engage with history and its implications, gaining insights into the diversity and interconnectedness that define human civilization. Let's continue to explore, discuss, and learn from the past to navigate the complexities of our shared future. Thank you for joining us on this journey through history and imagination. Osman II, 1618 to 1622. Osman II, who reigned from 1618 to 1622, tragically passed away on 20 May 1622 in Yedikul Fortress, Istanbul, Ottoman Empire, where he was murdered by Janissaries during a rebellion. His death marked a pivotal and tumultuous moment in Ottoman history, highlighting deep-seated tensions between the Sultanate and the military elite. Osman II ascended to the throne at a young age and sought to assert central authority and reform the military, particularly the powerful Janissaries. His ambitious reforms and policies, including attempts to centralize power and modernize the army, faced resistance from traditionalist factions within the empire, especially the Janissaries. Yedikul Fortress, where Osman II met his tragic end, was a significant Ottoman stronghold in Istanbul, symbolizing the imperial authority and military power that were central to Osman II's reign. His murder by Janissaries during a rebellion underscored the challenges faced by Ottoman rulers in asserting control over the military and maintaining political stability. The impact of Osman II's death was profound, exacerbating tensions between the Sultanate and the Janissaries and prompting periods of instability and internal conflict within the empire. His reign and tragic demise highlighted the complexities of Ottoman governance, the dynamics of power between the Sultan and the military, and the enduring influence of traditionalist forces within Ottoman society. Therefore, Osman II's death not only marked the end of his attempts at reform and centralization, but also signaled a period of heightened tensions and instability within the Ottoman Empire, shaping subsequent policies and governance under his successors. Murad IV, 1623 to 1640. Murad IV, who reigned from 1623 to 1640, passed away on 8 February 1640 in Topkapi Palace, Istanbul, Ottoman Empire, due to cirrhosis or possibly poisoning. His death marked the end of a period characterized by his harsh but effective rule and led to the succession of his brother, Ibrahim. Murad IV's reign was marked by efforts to restore order and discipline within the Ottoman Empire. He implemented strict measures to curb corruption, enforce moral codes, and centralize authority, earning a reputation for his authoritarian rule. Murad IV also pursued successful military campaigns, reclaiming territories lost to internal rebellions and external threats. Topkapi Palace, where Murad IV died, remained the center of Ottoman political and administrative affairs, witnessing the transition of power to his brother, Ibrahim. His death, attributed to cirrhosis or possibly poisoning, underscored the physical and health challenges faced by Ottoman rulers during this period of intense rule. The succession of Ibrahim following Murad IV's death marked a shift in Ottoman policies and governance. Ibrahim's reign, although marked by periods of instability and extravagance, reflected the complexities of succession and governance within the empire. Murad IV's death, therefore, not only ended a period of strict but effective rule, but also initiated a new phase under Ibrahim, shaping Ottoman policies and governance in the mid-17th century and highlighting the challenges of succession within the empire. Ibrahim, 1640 to 1648. Ibrahim, who reigned from 1640 to 1648, tragically passed away on 18 August 1648 in Topkapi Palace, Istanbul, Ottoman Empire. He was strangled to death after being deposed in a coup orchestrated by discontented factions within the empire. His death marked the end of a tumultuous period characterized by his erratic and extravagant rule and led to the succession of his son, Mehmed IV. Ibrahim's reign was marked by instability and excesses, exacerbated by his mental health issues and personal struggles. Despite efforts to assert authority and navigate internal and external challenges, Ibrahim faced opposition from various quarters, including janissaries and political rivals. His reign saw both periods of lavish spending and efforts to consolidate power, reflecting the complexities of Ottoman governance during this period. Topkapi Palace, where Ibrahim met his tragic end, remained the seat of Ottoman power and witnessed the dramatic events surrounding his deposition and death. His assassination by strangulation underscored the volatile nature of Ottoman politics and the risks faced by rulers perceived as weak or ineffective. The succession of Mehmed IV following Ibrahim's death marked a transition in Ottoman leadership and policies. Mehmed IV's reign, although initially marked by efforts to stabilize the empire, faced challenges similar to those of his predecessors, including military setbacks and internal dissent. Ibrahim's death, therefore, not only ended a period of erratic and extravagant rule, but also highlighted the vulnerabilities of Ottoman rulers and the complexities of succession within the empire. His reign and tragic demise underscored the precarious balance of power and authority in the Ottoman court during the 17th century, shaping subsequent policies and governance under Mehmed IV and beyond. Mehmed IV, 1648 to 1687. Mehmed IV, who reigned from 1648 to 1687, passed away on 6 January 1693 in Edirne, Ottoman Empire, due to natural causes. His death marked the end of a long and eventful reign and led to the succession of Suleiman II. Mehmed IV's reign was marked by both military successes and challenges. He ascended the throne at a young age and faced immediate external threats and internal strife. Mehmed IV oversaw significant military campaigns and territorial expansion, including wars with the Habsburgs and the Safavids. His reign also witnessed cultural and administrative developments, contributing to the Ottoman Empire's continued influence in Europe and Asia. Edirne, where Mehmed IV died, held historical significance as a former capital of the Ottoman Empire and continued to play a crucial role in imperial affairs. His death, attributed to natural causes, highlighted the physical and health challenges faced by Ottoman rulers during this period of prolonged rule. The succession of Suleiman II following Mehmed IV's death marked a transition in Ottoman leadership and policies. Suleiman II faced immediate challenges, including managing the aftermath of wars and addressing internal reforms. His reign, although shorter than Mehmed IV's, reflected ongoing efforts to maintain Ottoman dominance and stability in a changing geopolitical landscape. Mehmed IV's death, therefore, not only ended a period of significant military campaigns and administrative achievements, but also initiated a period of transition and continuity under Suleiman II, shaping Ottoman policies and governance in the late 17th century. Suleiman II, 1687 to 1691. Suleiman II, who reigned from 1687 to 1691, passed away on 22 June 1691 in Edirne, Ottoman Empire, due to natural causes. His death marked a brief but significant moment in Ottoman history as it led to the succession of his brother, Ahmed II. Suleiman II's reign was marked by efforts to stabilize the Ottoman Empire after periods of prolonged conflict and internal unrest. He inherited a challenging geopolitical landscape, including ongoing wars with European powers and internal factions vying for influence. Suleiman II sought to consolidate authority and implement reforms aimed at restoring Ottoman strength and unity. Edirne, where Suleiman II died, held historical significance as a strategic city in Ottoman history and continued to play a pivotal role in imperial affairs. His death, attributed to natural causes, underscored the physical and health challenges faced by Ottoman rulers during this period of transition and uncertainty. The succession of Ahmed II following Suleiman II's death marked a continuation of Ottoman policies and governance. Ahmed II faced immediate challenges, including managing ongoing conflicts and addressing internal reforms. His reign, although brief, reflected efforts to navigate the complexities of Ottoman politics and maintain stability. Suleiman II's death, therefore, not only ended a period of efforts to stabilize the empire, but also initiated a new phase under Ahmed II, shaping Ottoman policies and governance in the late 17th century. Ahmed II, 1691 to 1695. Ahmed II, who reigned from 1691 to 1695, passed away on 6 February 1695 in Edirne, Ottoman Empire, due to natural causes. His death marked a pivotal moment in Ottoman history as it led to the succession of Mustafa II. Ahmed II's reign was relatively short, but faced significant challenges. He inherited ongoing conflicts with European powers, internal dissent, and economic difficulties. Ahmed II pursued diplomatic initiatives and military campaigns to defend Ottoman territories and assert authority, albeit with mixed results. Edirne, where Ahmed II died, held historical significance as a former capital of the Ottoman Empire and continued to play a crucial role in imperial affairs. His death, attributed to natural causes, highlighted the physical and health challenges faced by Ottoman rulers during this period of geopolitical uncertainty. The succession of Mustafa II following Ahmed II's death marked a transition in Ottoman leadership and policies. Mustafa II faced immediate challenges, including continuing wars and internal reforms. His reign, although short-lived, reflected efforts to navigate the complexities of Ottoman politics and maintain stability amidst external pressures. Ahmed II's death, therefore, not only ended a period of Ottoman governance marked by external conflicts and internal challenges, but also initiated a new phase under Mustafa II, shaping Ottoman policies and governance in the late 17th century. Mustafa II, 1695 to 1703. Mustafa II, who reigned from 1695 to 1703, passed away on 29 December 1703 in Topkapi Palace, Istanbul, Ottoman Empire, due to natural causes, possibly stress-related. His death came after his deposition and marked the end of a troubled reign characterized by internal strife and external challenges. Mustafa II's reign was marred by conflicts with European powers, particularly the Habsburgs and the Venetians, as well as internal dissent and economic hardships. He faced military setbacks and internal rebellions, which strained Ottoman resources and authority. Mustafa II's efforts to stabilize the empire and assert control over its vast territories faced significant obstacles throughout his reign. Topkapi Palace, where Mustafa II died, remained the symbolic and administrative center of the Ottoman Empire, witnessing the challenges and complexities of governance during his troubled reign. His death, attributed to natural causes possibly exacerbated by the stresses of rule, underscored the personal and political pressures faced by Ottoman rulers during this period of transition and uncertainty. The deposition and subsequent death of Mustafa II marked the end of a troubled chapter in Ottoman history. His reign, although marked by efforts to defend Ottoman interests and maintain stability, highlighted the empire's vulnerabilities and the challenges of leadership during times of crisis. Mustafa II's death, therefore, not only ended a period of internal strife and external conflicts, but also initiated a period of reflection and reform within the Ottoman Empire as it sought to address the challenges of governance and succession in the early 18th century. Mehmed III, 1703 to 1730. Mehmed III, who reigned from 1703 to 1730, passed away on 1 July 1736 in Topkapi Palace, Istanbul, Ottoman Empire, due to natural causes. His death followed his deposition and marked the end of a long and culturally significant reign that left a lasting impact on the Ottoman Empire. Mehmed III's reign was characterized by efforts to modernize the Ottoman state and promote cultural and artistic advancements. He implemented reforms aimed at centralizing authority, improving administrative efficiency, and fostering economic development. Mehmed III also encouraged intellectual pursuits and patronized the arts, contributing to a flourishing cultural scene within the empire. Topkapi Palace, where Mehmed III died, remained the political and cultural center of the Ottoman Empire, witnessing the achievements and challenges of his reign. His death, attributed to natural causes, underscored the physical and health challenges faced by Ottoman rulers during this period of reform and renewal. The deposition and subsequent death of Mehmed III marked the end of an era defined by efforts to modernize and strengthen the Ottoman state. His reign, although marked by cultural advancements and administrative reforms, also faced challenges, including military setbacks and internal dissent. Mehmed III's death, therefore, not only concluded a period of cultural and administrative achievements, but also initiated a period of transition and reflection within the Ottoman Empire as it navigated changing geopolitical dynamics and internal pressures in the early 18th century. Mahmud I, 1730 to 1754. Mahmud I, who reigned from 1730 to 1754, passed away on 13 December 1754 in Topkapi Palace, Istanbul, Ottoman Empire, due to natural causes. His death led to the succession of his brother, Osman I. Mahmud I's reign was marked by efforts to stabilize the Ottoman Empire following periods of internal strife and external conflicts. He inherited a challenging geopolitical landscape, including ongoing wars with European powers and economic hardships. Mahmud I pursued diplomatic initiatives and military campaigns to defend Ottoman territories and assert authority, contributing to periods of relative stability during his reign. Topkapi Palace, where Mahmud I died, continued to serve as the administrative and political center of the Ottoman Empire, witnessing the challenges and achievements of his rule. His death, attributed to natural causes, highlighted the physical and health challenges faced by Ottoman rulers during this period of transition and consolidation. The succession of Osman III following Mahmud I's death marked a continuation of Ottoman policies and governance. Osman III faced immediate challenges, including managing ongoing conflicts and addressing internal reforms. His reign, although relatively short, reflected efforts to maintain Ottoman dominance and stability amidst external pressures. Mahmud I's death, therefore, not only concluded a period of efforts to stabilize the empire, but also initiated a new phase under Osman III, shaping Ottoman policies and governance in the mid-18th century. Osman III, 1754 to 1757. Osman III, who reigned from 1754 to 1757, passed away on 30 October 1757 in Topkapi Palace, Istanbul, Ottoman Empire, due to natural causes. His death marked a brief period in Ottoman history and saw the succession of Mustafa III. Osman III's reign was relatively short, but faced challenges typical of Ottoman rulers during this period, including managing internal affairs and external conflicts. He pursued administrative reforms and diplomatic initiatives aimed at maintaining Ottoman influence amidst European powers' encroachment. Topkapi Palace, where Osman III died, remained the symbolic and administrative heart of the Ottoman Empire, witnessing the complexities of governance during his brief reign. His death, attributed to natural causes, underscored the physical and health challenges faced by Ottoman rulers during this era of transition and geopolitical uncertainty. The succession of Mustafa III following Osman III's death marked a continuation of Ottoman policies and governance. Mustafa III faced immediate challenges, including ongoing conflicts and economic pressures. His reign, although marked by efforts to stabilize the empire, also faced internal dissent and external threats. Osman III's death, therefore, not only concluded a brief period in Ottoman history, but also initiated a new phase under Mustafa III, shaping Ottoman policies and governance in the late 18th century. Mustafa III, 1757 to 1774. Mustafa III, who reigned from 1757 to 1774, passed away on 21 January 1774 in Topkapi Palace, Istanbul, Ottoman Empire, due to a heart attack. His death marked the end of a period characterized by significant reforms and military engagements. Mustafa III's reign was notable for his efforts to modernize the Ottoman state and consolidate central authority. He implemented administrative reforms aimed at improving governance efficiency and economic stability. Mustafa III also pursued military campaigns, including wars against Russia and the Habsburgs, aimed at securing Ottoman territories and asserting influence in the Balkans and Crimea. Topkapi Palace, where Mustafa III died, continued to serve as the political and administrative center of the Ottoman Empire, witnessing the achievements and challenges of his reign. His sudden death, attributed to a heart attack, underscored the physical and health challenges faced by Ottoman rulers amidst the pressures of governance and military campaigns. Mustafa III's death marked the conclusion of a period marked by reforms and military engagements. His reign, although marked by successes and challenges, contributed to the Ottoman Empire's efforts to navigate geopolitical complexities and internal reforms in the late 18th century. His successor, Abdülhamid I, faced immediate challenges, including managing the aftermath of wars and addressing internal reforms. His reign, although initially marked by efforts to stabilize the empire, faced challenges similar to those of his predecessors, including military setbacks and internal dissent. Abdülhamid I, 1774 to 1789. Abdülhamid I, who reigned from 1774 to 1789, passed away on 7 April 1789 in Topkapi Palace, Istanbul, Ottoman Empire, due to a stroke. His death marked the end of a period marked by efforts to stabilize the Ottoman Empire after periods of conflict and reform. Abdülhamid I's reign was characterized by attempts to consolidate Ottoman authority and address internal challenges. He inherited a state recovering from wars and faced economic difficulties, prompting reforms aimed at improving administrative efficiency and economic stability. Abdülhamid I also navigated external pressures, including conflicts with European powers and regional instability. Topkapi Palace, where Abdul Hamid I died, remained central to Ottoman governance and witnessed the complexities of his rule. His death, attributed to a stroke, highlighted the physical and health challenges faced by Ottoman rulers during this era of transition and reform. The succession of Selim III following Abdul Hamid I's death marked a continuation of Ottoman policies and governance. Selim III faced immediate challenges, including ongoing conflicts and pressures for reform. His reign, although marked by efforts to modernize the military and administrative structures, faced opposition from conservative factions and ended amidst internal turmoil. Abdul Hamid I's death, therefore, not only concluded a period of efforts to stabilize the empire, but also initiated a new phase under Selim III, shaping Ottoman policies and governance in the late 18th century. Selim III, 1789 to 1807. Selim III, who reigned from 1789 to 1807, tragically passed away on 28 July 1808 in Topkapi Palace, Istanbul, Ottoman Empire. His death occurred under dramatic circumstances as he was murdered during a coup, highlighting the deep-seated political instability and conflicts within the empire during his reign. Selim III's reign was marked by efforts to modernize the Ottoman military and administrative systems in response to growing European encroachment and internal challenges. He implemented reforms aimed at centralizing authority, improving bureaucratic efficiency, and strengthening the Ottoman navy. These reforms faced significant opposition from conservative factions and Janissary elites, leading to periods of unrest and rebellion. Topkapi Palace, where Selim III met his untimely death, continued to witness the complexities and conflicts of Ottoman governance. His assassination during a coup underscored the political turmoil and power struggles within the empire, highlighting the challenges faced by reformist sultans in navigating entrenched interests and societal tensions. Selim III's death had profound implications for Ottoman politics and governance. It led to further instability and a succession crisis, contributing to a period of turmoil known as the Ottoman decline. His efforts at reform, although controversial and ultimately unsuccessful in his lifetime, laid the groundwork for later modernization efforts within the empire. In conclusion, Selim III's assassination not only ended a tumultuous reign marked by reform efforts and resistance, but also symbolized the broader challenges facing the Ottoman Empire as it grappled with internal dissent and external pressures in the early 19th century. Mustafa IV, 1807 to 1808. Mustafa IV, who reigned from 1807 to 1808, met his end on 17 November 1808 in Topkapi Palace, Istanbul, Ottoman Empire, where he was executed by order of Mahmud II. His death marked the conclusion of a brief and tumultuous reign, amidst internal strife and power struggles. Mustafa IV's brief tenure was characterized by attempts to assert authority and stabilize the empire following the assassination of his predecessor, Selim III. He faced challenges from Janissary rebellions and political intrigue, which undermined his authority and led to his eventual deposition and execution. Topkapi Palace, witness to the tumultuous events of Mustafa IV's reign, remained central to Ottoman governance during this period of instability. His execution, ordered by Mahmud II, highlighted the ruthless power struggles and factionalism within the Ottoman court, reflecting broader tensions within the empire. The death of Mustafa IV had significant implications for Ottoman politics and governance. It marked a transition in leadership and underscored the volatility and unpredictability of Ottoman succession during this period. Mahmud II, who succeeded him, faced immediate challenges in consolidating power and implementing reforms amidst ongoing internal and external pressures. Mustafa IV's short and troubled reign, marked by political turmoil and internal dissent, reflected the challenges faced by Ottoman rulers in maintaining stability and authority during the turbulent early 19th century. His execution, while a tragic end to his reign, symbolized the harsh realities of Ottoman politics and the complexities of leadership in an era of decline and reform. Mahmud II, 1808 to 1839. Mahmud II, who reigned from 1808 to 1839, passed away on 1 July 1839 in Topkapi Palace, Istanbul, Ottoman Empire, due to tuberculosis. His death marked the end of a transformative period marked by significant reforms and challenges. Mahmud II's reign was defined by efforts to modernize the Ottoman state and confront internal and external pressures. He implemented reforms aimed at centralizing authority, modernizing the military, and restructuring administrative institutions. Mahmud II also faced challenges such as the Greek War of Independence and Russian expansion, which tested Ottoman territorial integrity and sovereignty. Topkapi Palace, where Mahmud II died, remained central to Ottoman governance and witnessed the complexities of his reformist policies. His death, attributed to tuberculosis, underscored the health challenges faced by Ottoman rulers amidst the pressures of governance and reform. The succession of Abdülmecid I following Mahmud II's death marked a continuation of Ottoman policies and governance. Abdülmecid I faced immediate challenges, including managing ongoing reforms and navigating changing geopolitical dynamics. His reign, although marked by efforts to modernize and stabilize the empire, faced opposition from conservative factions and external adversaries. Mahmud II's death, therefore, not only concluded a transformative period of reform, but also initiated a new phase under Abdülmecid I, shaping Ottoman policies and governance in the mid-19th century. His reforms laid the groundwork for later efforts to modernize the Ottoman state and confront the challenges of European imperialism and internal dissent. Abdülmecid I, 1839 to 1861. Abdülmecid I, who reigned from 1839 to 1861, passed away on 25 June 1861 in Topkapi Palace, Istanbul, Ottoman Empire, due to tuberculosis. His death marked the end of a transformative period of modernization and reform within the Ottoman Empire. Abdülmecid I's reign was characterized by efforts to modernize Ottoman institutions, infrastructure, and society in response to growing European influence and internal challenges. He implemented administrative reforms, including the Tanzimat reforms, aimed at centralizing authority, promoting equality before the law, and improving education and infrastructure. Topkapi Palace, where Abdülmecid I died, remained central to Ottoman governance and witnessed the complexities of his reformist policies. His death, attributed to tuberculosis, highlighted the health challenges faced by Ottoman rulers amidst the pressures of governance and reform. The succession of Abdulaziz following Abdülmecid I's death marked a continuation of Ottoman policies and governance. Abdulaziz faced immediate challenges, including managing ongoing reforms and navigating geopolitical complexities. His reign, although marked by efforts to modernize and strengthen the empire, faced internal dissent and external pressures. Abdülmecid I's death, therefore, not only concluded a period of significant modernization, but also initiated a new phase under Abdulaziz, shaping Ottoman policies and governance in the late 19th century. His reforms laid the groundwork for later efforts to confront the challenges of European imperialism and internal dissent, reflecting the Ottoman Empire's ongoing struggle for survival and adaptation in a changing world. Abdulaziz, 1861 to 1876. Abdulaziz, who reigned from 1861 to 1876, passed away on 4 June 1876 in Feri Palace, Istanbul, Ottoman Empire. His death was officially declared a suicide, but there are strong suspicions that he may have been murdered, which has sparked considerable debate and controversy. Abdulaziz's reign saw efforts to modernize the Ottoman navy and army, as well as significant cultural patronage and architectural developments. However, his reign was also marked by financial difficulties and political unrest. The increasing influence of European powers and internal dissent created a volatile political environment. Feri Palace, where Abdulaziz met his end, became a focal point of political intrigue. The circumstances surrounding his death were murky, with evidence suggesting foul play. This ambiguity reflected the turbulent nature of Ottoman politics at the time, where power struggles and conspiracies were common. The death of Abdulaziz led to significant political upheaval, immediately followed by the brief reign of his nephew, Murad V, who was quickly deposed due to mental instability. This period of instability underscored the fragility of the Ottoman political system during the late 19th century. Abdulaziz's death, whether by suicide or murder, had profound implications for the Ottoman Empire. It triggered a series of events that exposed the deep-seated tensions within the ruling elite and highlighted the challenges of maintaining authority and stability in a rapidly changing world. His passing marked a critical juncture, setting the stage for further reforms and the eventual decline of the Ottoman Empire. Murad V, 1876. Murad V, who briefly reigned in 1876, passed away on 29 August 1904 in Istanbul, Ottoman Empire, due to natural causes, possibly exacerbated by mental illness. His death marked the end of a long period of confinement, following his deposition from the Ottoman throne. Murad V's brief reign was marked by mental instability, which led to his swift deposition after only a few months on the throne. Following his removal from power, he was placed under confinement due to his condition, which persisted until his passing nearly 3 decades later. In Istanbul, where Murad V spent his final years, his death came as a result of natural causes, likely linked to his ongoing health issues and mental illness. His reign and subsequent confinement reflected the challenges faced by Ottoman rulers in managing both internal politics and personal health. The passing of Murad V had limited immediate political impact, as his confinement had effectively ended his active role in Ottoman affairs years earlier. However, his death symbolized the human toll of dynastic struggles and mental health challenges within the Ottoman royal family during a period of significant internal and external pressures. Murad V's life and reign, though brief and troubled, are emblematic of the complexities and personal sacrifices associated with Ottoman imperial rule in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. His death marked a somber conclusion to a turbulent chapter in Ottoman history, paving the way for subsequent developments as the empire navigated the challenges of modernization and decline. Abdul-Hamid II, 1876–1909. Abdul-Hamid II, who reigned from 1876 to 1909, passed away on 10 February 1918 in Beylerbeyi Palace, Istanbul, Ottoman Empire, due to natural causes. His death marked the conclusion of a lengthy and controversial reign that left a lasting impact on the Ottoman Empire and its transition into the 20th century. Abdul-Hamid II's rule was characterized by efforts to centralize power, suppress dissent, and resist external pressures, especially from European powers. His policies included the suspension of the Ottoman constitution, known as the Ottoman Parliament, Meclis-i Mevcusun, and the imposition of autocratic rule. Beylerbeyi Palace, where Abdul-Hamid II spent his final years, witnessed the complexities of his reign and the challenges faced by the Ottoman Empire during a period of decline and transformation. His death, attributed to natural causes, underscored the health challenges faced by Ottoman rulers amidst the pressures of governance and geopolitical struggles. The impact of Abdul-Hamid II's death was significant in marking the end of an era characterized by authoritarian rule and internal repression. His policies, while aimed at preserving Ottoman sovereignty and stability, contributed to growing discontent and paved the way for subsequent reforms and movements towards modernization. In conclusion, Abdul-Hamid II's death symbolized the end of a chapter in Ottoman history marked by authoritarianism and resistance to change. His legacy remains complex, reflecting the struggles of a declining empire grappling with internal reform, external pressures, and shifting geopolitical dynamics as it approached the brink of World War I. Mehmed V, 1909–1918. Mehmed V, who reigned from 1909 to 1918, passed away on 3 July 1918 in Istanbul, Ottoman Empire, due to natural causes. His death occurred during the tumultuous period of World War I and marked a pivotal moment in Ottoman history. Mehmed V's reign was defined by the challenges of the declining Ottoman Empire during a period of intense geopolitical turmoil. His rule spanned the Balkan Wars and World War I, during which the empire faced significant territorial losses and internal strife. In Istanbul, where Mehmed V spent his final years, his death came amid the backdrop of World War I, with the Ottoman Empire deeply embroiled in the conflict. His passing, attributed to natural causes, underscored the health challenges faced by Ottoman rulers amidst the pressures of war and governance. The impact of Mehmed V's death was profound, as it led to the succession of his half-brother, Mehmed VI, during a critical juncture in Ottoman history. Mehmed VI's reign would witness the final years of the Ottoman Empire, marked by defeat in World War I and the subsequent dissolution of the empire. Mehmed V's legacy reflects the struggles of a declining empire, grappling with internal reform, external pressures, and the devastating effects of global conflict. His death, occurring at a pivotal moment in history, symbolized the end of an era for the Ottoman Sultanate and paved the way for the empire's final chapter under Mehmed VI. Mehmed VI, 1918 to 1922. Mehmed VI, who reigned from 1918 to 1922, passed away on 16 May 1926 in San Remo, Italy, due to natural causes. His death occurred in exile following the abolition of the Ottoman Sultanate, marking the definitive end of the Ottoman dynasty and its centuries-long rule. Mehmed VI's reign was a period of immense upheaval and decline for the Ottoman Empire. He ascended the throne during the final years of World War I and presided over the empire's dissolution and the loss of its remaining territories. In San Remo, where Mehmed VI spent his final years in exile, his death symbolized the end of Ottoman sovereignty and the dismantling of the Sultanate. The abolition of the Ottoman monarchy in 1922 marked a transformative moment in Turkish and Middle Eastern history, as the Republic of Turkey emerged under Mustafa Kemal Atatürk's leadership. The impact of Mehmed VI's death was profound, as it signified the end of the Ottoman dynasty that had ruled for over 6 centuries. His passing, attributed to natural causes, underscored the turbulent and transformative period that saw the transition from imperial rule to republican governance in Turkey. Mehmed VI's legacy remains intertwined with the decline and dissolution of the Ottoman Empire, reflecting the challenges faced by a once mighty dynasty in the face of modernization, nationalism, and global conflict. His death in exile marked the final chapter of Ottoman imperial history, leaving a lasting imprint on the collective memory and historical narrative of Turkey and the wider region. Conclusion. In conclusion, the saga of the Ottoman Sultans spans centuries of triumphs, challenges, and transformations, each ruler leaving an indelible mark on history. From the early expansion under Osman I to the tumultuous twilight years of Mehmed VI, their legacies echo through time, shaping the course of empires and civilizations. As we reflect on their lives and reigns, we're reminded of the resilience and complexity of leadership in the face of profound change. Their stories not only illuminate the grandeur of the Ottoman Empire, but also offer timeless lessons in governance, diplomacy, and adaptation. Join us in exploring more captivating historical narratives and insights into the lives of remarkable figures. Don't forget to subscribe for more engaging content that brings history to life and inspires a deeper understanding of our shared past. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel to discover more about the captivating history of the Ottoman Sultans and beyond.